Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show for Friday, January 27th, 2023. Welcome to another eBay video. Today we're going to be discussing your comments, questions, and concerns from my last several videos earlier this week. We're also going to discuss a bit of a slowdown on eBay this week and what might be causing it. And of course, some other eBay topics that I think you guys will find interesting. It is blowing my hair all over the place. And look, totally cloudy. I swear to Christ on the cross, I say this every week, we cannot catch a break. Not one. The entire month of January has been totally cloudy. This has never happened before. And there's no end in sight. Let's go inside. Let's get the video started. All right, guys, let's do this. Comments, questions, and concerns from my last few videos. Joe Ski 6621 wrote, "This has happened to me twice. Rather than deal with the return, which was not justified, the buyer gets their funds. I keep the purchase amount. Buyers have figured this out and will be coming in the future. eBay is going out of its way to make the buyers happy. There's nothing wrong with making legitimate buyers happy, but making scammers happy is another story. You got to differentiate. There's a fine line. I'm telling you why." Girly Z wrote, "It is likely the same buyer will successfully get away with this sort of fraudulent practice several times before eBay catches on and prevents them from repeating it. What is really horrible is that the same buyer can open another fresh account through eBay, maybe even use an alternate address, etc., and just continue doing the exact same type of fraud. They could potentially get away with literally thousands of dollars worth of items, not to mention all the trouble it causes legitimate, honest sellers. eBay hopefully will start preventing it." Girly Z, they're not going to start preventing it. There's one thing they could do. I've said this for the last 10 years. Account validation. And they steadfastly refuse to do it. You couldn't get away with this on Amazon. Or maybe once you could, but after that, they'll slap you down. Musta Ferrara 5880 wrote, "5 months ago, a buyer requested to return my item. No problem, I accepted the return and sent the buyer a return shipping label. 6 days later, I got an email from eBay stating the buyer had accelerated the return request to a case, and we have refunded their money. I was like, what the hell? I had not even received the item back. Someone at the Philippines call center messed it up. I then called eBay, and many thanks to eBay concierge, they figured it out and returned my money within 2 minutes and closed the case forever. No chance to appeal either. Had this been the Philippines customer service, I would have lost my item and my money." This goes to what I said yesterday. This goes to what I said on my Wednesday video. Yes, I do believe the Philippine call centers are making a lot of mistakes, and they seem to be hurting the sellers. Do you see a little bit of a pattern here? 5797029, Mike wrote, "Joe, I agree with everything you covered. I have experienced most of them and then some others. There is no consistency with eBay, which often lets the scammers win. I've had 3 scammers over the past year return a brick to me in place of the item I sent them. I had one buyer open a return and 3 separate cases on the same item. All had different reasons. He eventually returned the item at his own cost outside of the eBay return system." Well, that is a huge warning sign, what Mike just said, and it happened to me at least once in my 24-year eBay career. A person can open numerous cases on the same item, I swear to you. Now, back in 1999, 2000, okay, maybe, eBay was young. But come on, it's 2023, and the same loopholes exist that existed years ago. I said the coding was out of date, and I mean it. I mean it. Mike also wrote, sales have been off here also. Most of the buyers I'm currently getting are needy. Need to ask questions, need to make requests, need to return items, need it faster, need to be blocked. The only good thing, I guess, is only one non-payer this month. Mike, I live for one non-payer a month. I get at least 3 a week, usually more. Usually more, Mike. And I also sell on eBay Motors, as you know. Liberty for All, 901 wrote, on the second scenario, the option number 3 will occur, plus you'll have to pay the $20 fee. That same situation happened to me. Let me know if you have to pay the additional $20 for the banking fee. Liberty for All, 901, don't you worry. I will make a video whenever the judgment is made, one way or the other, and I'll inform you guys, although it really won't be necessary, because if option number 3 occurs, I guarantee you, all of you guys, even you West Coasters, you'll hear me screaming bloody murder all the way over on the West Coast from here. All right? That guy that I told you about is a true scammer, an honest scammer. He tried to return a no returns item on eBay, saying wrong size doesn't fit. I rejected the return because I'm a man of principle. It says no returns. I said don't buy it if you don't have a 2019 vehicle. He did anyway. Changed the quantity from 1 to 2. All right, eBay sided with me, closed the case. He then jumped over to his credit card company and tries to scam me by saying the item's not as described. Once this case is resolved, I'll be doing some exposing. And you'll have a better idea as to what's going on then. But can't do anything right now. Nothing I hate more than a scammer. An honest-to-goodness scammer. We've got to get them off the platform. Smoker's Cough wrote, it's like Q1 brought out all the absolute turds of eBay in the world that Q4 didn't flush out. I've been experiencing similar to you. My listings are clear, titles are clear, sizing of products is clear, yet some buyers refuse to read and make returns a hassle. The lowballers and sellers on their buying or burner accounts are out in full force to cause issues. I would have blocked your buyer too. Terrible how eBay lets these accounts continue to ruin business for us honest sellers. That is true. Dennis Copper weighed in. Good thing I have so many sales. I got another return. eBay gave me 3 days to send a return label. What the hell happened to 5 days? eBay then gave the bad buyer 3 weeks to put the label on. What the hell is that for? Not 3 weeks to get it to me, but just to slap the label on and go to the post office. Unless you're in Alaska, it doesn't take 3 weeks to go to the post office. eBay puts refund buyer on every screen page. Why? I didn't get my item back. Last comment I'm going to read is from Friendship Lights. Great show. What state do you broadcast from? I'm in Gravesend, Brooklyn. I am broadcasting in Oradell, New Jersey, from the ever cloudy East Coast. Before we get started with today's eBay video, a bit of a somber note. For those of you guys who grew up in the 70s, as I did, I have to announce the passing of a 70s kid actor. I heard this yesterday on Thursday. You may remember a show from the mid to late 70s called James at 15. Well, the kid who was the star of that show, his name was Lance Kerwin. His death was reported yesterday. I'm sure a lot of you guys have to remember this show. And to help jog your memory, right now live on the Crazy New York Driver Show, I am going to sing the opening intro from that song to help you guys remember. So if you guys don't remember, you certainly will after this. I'm going to sing it a cappella. No musical accompaniment. Here we go. Ready? He don't got no walking stick. He don't need no ball and chain. He ain't got no candy kick. That don't mean nothing to James. Oh, James singing. Oh, James. The people in the streets. Oh, the pouring of the rain. Is it a feeling in the heart or is it something you can name? Oh, James singing. Oh, James. That's all you're getting today. And if you want to know how I know the words, I cheated. I read off my phone, so okay, haha. But I'm just curious, because I do talk about current events. You guys from the 70s, or even the 80s, as a kid, did you ever watch that show? Coming of Age show? I did watch it. It was corny even back then, but it was corny enough to be enjoyable. All right, let's get started with the eBay topics. I'll start off with some good news. I should have mentioned this the other day, and I didn't. I've been watching the Barrett Jackson car auction all week. And during the entire auction, eBay has been advertising small snippets for eBay Motors. They're only about maybe 20 seconds long, the commercials, but they're upselling eBay Motors in and during the Barrett Jackson auction, which is a big win. I posted this in Facebook on some of the groups. So yeah, that's very good news for you eBay Motors sellers. Also related to eBay Motors, I noticed it's been a lot slower this week, starting Monday. Others have noticed it too. And there seems to be something going on with the compatibility feature. eBay has added something that they would hope was going to stop so many returns in eBay Motors. For instance, let's use the case that I talked about the other day where the guy is trying to scam me illegally. I clearly put in the listing that this item only fits a 2019 model year. So let's say somebody had a vehicle and their car or their vehicle was 2016. If they would type their vehicle in 2016, it would come back as not fitting, which is a good thing. That's working the way it's supposed to. But there are some people that have contacted me and told me that people are getting error messages saying that the part won't fit their vehicle, even if it will fit their vehicle. And there's a chance that could be the reason why it's been so slow this week at eBay Motors. But again, that's just conjecture. I haven't looked into it that deeply. So if any of you guys have experienced anything, positive or negative, with the compatibility change, I want to hear about it. Okay, it's very important. Coffee. I want to go back to the video that I made on Wednesday now and talk a little bit about some comments and questions that you guys had that I haven't read. One that comes to mind was from Mo Smith. Mo Smith wanted me to blast the name and address of the Zero Feedback scammer to basically protect the community so that you guys would not sell to that person. But the problem is, number one, because the person had zero feedback, the chances of this person coming after you or buying one of your items is very small, okay? As you probably remember, the item was $18 plus the $16 shipping. Now, I want to differentiate this buyer from the other buyer. This buyer is small time, and I don't think they intentionally scammed me. Let me explain. They bought the item. They're stupid. Now that they are. They're stupid, illiterate, and uneducated. But I don't think they're a true scammer because once they had the item and realized it didn't fit, they honestly clicked wrong size does not fit. Then, when they went to ship the item back or print the label, they found out they have to pay another $16 back. They decided to forget it. Then, and only then, did they decide to connive. Now, these are words that I'm using in my own vernacular. Connive is basically to get around doing it the right way. So they tried to connive, and it worked out for them. All right? They didn't actually hurt me. Not in the short term. But in the long term, yes, they will hurt all eBay sellers because eBay will raise their fees. But that's the reason I am not going to expose them. They're small time. I don't think they actually had scamming in mind, but when they found out they were playing in the major leagues, they decided to do an end run and connive. Now, on the other hand, the guy that's filing a chargeback with his credit card company is a scammer. That one I will expose. You don't have to worry about that. But I'm not going to do it yet. I want to see how this plays out, and the way it plays out will govern how I next proceed. Am I supposed to say how do you proceed? So yeah, there's a whole difference. The guy with the 2019 vehicle is a legitimate scammer. All right, a hardcore scammer. Stupid, uneducated, he didn't read the listing, didn't read anything, tried to return the item, failed, then, now here's where it gets different than the first case, made a conscious effort to contact his credit card company and lie and say the item was not as described as it was. You know me, I'm methodical about my stuff. So we'll see what happens. Now, somebody had written in earlier about the $20 fee. Let's see if I can find that comment. If not, I'll just wing it without it. Liberty for All 901 was the one that wrote it with that comment. They better not assess me a $20 fee, take my money and my item, because I'll be calling concierge mighty quick. I might, if that happens, I would probably consider filing a police report with the town and in the residence of the person that's scamming me, which I won't even talk about now because I want to wait till this plays out and see how it goes. I made it a point in my video on Wednesday to say and impress upon you guys that when eBay gives money back out of its pocket, don't think you're flying away free and clear, because you're not. You're not. Your wings are going to get clipped pretty soon. Not individually, but as a class. Because even eBay, as huge as it is, and as profitable as it is, cannot keep absorbing all these scammers. They can't do it. And they're going to have to go ahead and they're going to have to raise rates at some point. That is why it's imperative to always fight these cases. I'm assuming you're in the right, and I'm sure you are, because anybody watching this video is a good eBay seller, or at least trying to be a very good eBay seller. Always fight these chargebacks with the credit card company. Submit proof. You get 5 pictures now. All right? Take your time. Get some good screenshots, especially if the buyer tried to return the item the first time through eBay and was rebuffed. Hopefully that'll work in my favor, but it might not. It might not. But I guarantee you guys, I give you my solemn word, whenever this case comes to fruition, I will mention it in an upcoming video. Because the guy's a scammer. Even if he fails to scam me, he's still a scammer, you know? If a guy tries to rob a bank and gets away with $10,000, he robbed a bank. But if he goes in, attempts to rob a bank, and the cops catch him in the act, he's still guilty of the same crime. You know? There are some that will say, well, that's the cost of doing business online. Well, no, it's not the cost of doing business online. Getting returns, yes, that's the cost of doing business online. False item not as described cases, yes, that is the cost of doing business online. I get that. But not thievery, not theft, and not scamming. I'll not stand for it. You shouldn't either. Guys, that's all I'm going to talk about today because I want to keep this topic in the public eye. I want to keep it up and out there. Guys, I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Thank you for watching my video. Every Friday, and even during the week sometimes, I make these videos to try and help you stay successful as an eBay seller. If you think I'm doing a good job, please leave me a thumbs up. It tells me I'm on point and appreciated. If you don't think I did a good job, tell me in the comments what to hit up and I'll try and do it next week. My word is very important to me. It's like the most important thing I have. I always keep my word and I get very bent out of shape when someone gives me their word and they don't keep it. So I'm going to give you my word now and tell you the very next time I make a video, it's going to be cloudy. We can't get a single sunny day. Some of you guys are face-palming yourself saying, oh, I wish this guy would shut up about the weather. Well, put yourself in my position. I don't think you could handle a straight month of cloudy, nasty days because you're used to your 70-degree, beautiful days. You don't realize what it's like. And it was never always this bad. It was never perfect. But this last year has just been nothing but clouds. Guys, make a ton of money out there on eBay. Rock on and peace. And please tell me, how would you like to proceed?